Yo, what's poppin', everybody? Hey, I'm gonna give you a second to get into the room. Hit the like button on your way in. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Hey, what a crazy night. I was just in the space listening to these Ravens fans talk cash. I mean, they're talking cash about this upcoming matchup, and I'm just in the back laughing. I tried to request to get up, but they wouldn't let your boy on. You already know what they on. Gatekeepers. Ravens flock is a bunch of gatekeepers. But yeah, hey, we on their head on Sunday. Hey, don't even worry about it. Punch the like on your way in. You know how we going up. You know how we get down over here. It's FINS Take with CB83. We about to get this thing cranking. I'm just doing a couple of things in the background real quick. Pushing a couple of the levers. Getting everything squared away for the show, but I wanted to go live. I didn't want to keep you guys waiting too long, but hey, we about to get into it. Punch the like, let everybody know your boy is live. These dudes are a joke, man. The Ravens flock. I don't know what's got into these guys, but they're really feeling themselves this year. And give me the thumbs up if you guys can hear me. I want to make sure you guys can hear me. But yeah, they are really, 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 really feeling themselves. And I just don't understand it. I mean, they've beat some good football teams, right? But they gotta understand that there's parity in the NFL, and week to week things do change. Week to week things change, and there's a lot that's changing right now in the league. They're gonna have to figure it out. Because I guarantee you we're going to have it figured out on Sunday. We're going to come in there ready to play. I don't know what they think this is. I don't know what they think this is. I really don't understand it. But they're in there clueless right now. Clueless, right? There's a lot of things that happened last year. When I look back on the game and when I watch the game again, the Miami Dolphins should have been winning that game out the jump. From the jump, right? Just mistakes here or there, giving up big plays that we wouldn't give up this year. It's wild. It's wild. But let's go ahead and get this thing cranking. Do me a favor, punch the like on your way in. I got some of the homies probably coming through. You already know what time it is. Y'all know how we get down over here. Let's run it. Let's crank it. Let's go. Hey, we here. Hey, thumbs up. Hey, hit the like button. Y'all already know what time it is. Hey, it's your boy. It's your boy FINS with CB83. Hey, coming to you for another banger. I don't know what. Hey, the Ravens flock has got it twisted. They got it twisted tonight. I don't know what's gotten into their little tea or whatever they sipping on. Bro, this ain't the same Miami Dolphins team you saw from last year. We're a better football team. Y'all are slightly better, right? You got a little bit better. You got a couple more receivers, right? Hey, we got some dogs back there on the back end, bro. I don't know what they think this is, man. I really don't understand what they think this is. But the Miami Dolphins are coming for their heads on Sunday. We not taking no prisoners. We're refusing to lose. 2 men enter, 1 man leave. It's a different mentality. Shout out to the FINS tailgate who was in here first. Throwing up the eyes. You already know what time it is, man. Let's get it. Let's crank it. Let's go. Yes, sir, man. Appreciate the FINS tailgate popping in on your boy. What's good with y'all, man? Mudbone in the building. What's up with you, my boy? I see you. Mudbone always around. Adam Sadowski. FINS up, y'all. Always around. Tom the Don in the building. Let's go. Time to defeat another narrative. And we just, the goalposts just keep getting pushed back further and further and further and further, right? Right? Every week is something, right? Every week it's, he can't beat Dak. He can't beat the Cowboys. The Cowboys, we can't beat them. They're too good of a football team. What? Like, bro, what are you talking about? Do you watch us?
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Hey, and then you have the guys like Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless and all of these clowns coming out. Colin Cowherd come out. He's got to say something too. They got to kind of keep pushing their narrative. Oh, the Dolphins will get blown out by the Cowboys. The Cowboys are just too good of a team. Colin, Skip.
Man, sit your dumb ass down and shut.
Man, come on, man. Stop playing with us.
Man, sit your dumb ass down and shut.
Hey, we don't do that around here, man. They better figure it out. And they gonna figure it out on Sunday. That's the thing. People be talking bad about the Dolphins, but they learn the hard way. We heard the same thing from the Cowboys too. Cowboys fans. Oh man, y'all ain't physical enough. We gonna punch y'all in the mouth. Bro, we're physical when we need to be physical. That's when we get physical, right? It's like the y'all want to bully us? No, you can't bully a bully, right? Y'all just picking on us. Y'all try to pick on us when it's convenient for y'all, but when it comes down to it, and you punch us in the mouth, we do punch back, and that's what teams are figuring out the hard way. They're figuring out, oh, the Miami Dolphins may have a little punch in them, right? They may have a little pushback in them. Tua may get a little salty and start swinging back. He may. The narratives may get pushed back a little bit because these guys can play good football, and that's what you see. And it's crazy that these dudes. Oh, let me see this. Hold on. It's crazy that these dudes will just keep creating these narratives and keep pushing them back because they don't know. Right? They don't watch us, right? They look at the highlights. They don't understand what's going on. So that's what happens a lot of times too. You're just dealing with guys who don't really know our football team. They just know they live in an echo chamber. That's like the Ravens fans. The Ravens fans live in an echo chamber. They only care about what they do from, week in and week out. The week of the game, they'll talk about other teams. They'll have other people in there. But if somebody pushes back a little bit too much, they're going to get in there. They're going to be like, oh, well, you're only saying, and now they're mad. No, bro, don't get mad, bro. Don't get mad because we telling you the truth about our team. Come on, bro. Shout out to the homie S. Harris in the building. What's good? Hey, them dudes are definitely clueless in the Ravens flock. They won't come around here. They wouldn't even let me up. They wouldn't even let me up in a space, bro. Wouldn't even let me up. They clueless, dog. They have no idea. But shout out to the homie S. Harris for coming through, showing some love. You know how we get down over here, bro. Yes, sir. Hey, Raul P in the building. What's good? He says, hi, CB83 in chat. Merry Christmas. Hey, Merry Christmas to everybody. Hope you guys had a fantastic holiday, man. I really do. We got a chance to watch some good football. Well, I thought the football could have been a little bit better. The Chiefs look ass. Ravens and Eagles almost gave that one up too. They look like they're slacking. The San Francisco 49ers literally handed these dudes the game on a platter, 5 turnovers, and they still barely won the game, right? They still found a way, like, in the second quarter and the halftime, like, they're still in the game, bro. Just stop turning the ball over and you'll be fine. And that's what you won't see happen against the Miami Dolphins. We are not going to give you the game on a platter, bro. You're going to have to line up and earn everything you get on Sunday, right? And they're acting like we didn't beat them last year in the same type of, in the same type of matchup, right? And just to give you a little bit about what happened last year, and this is my big belief, right? You're only as good as your last game. Point blank, period. You're only as good as your last game. The last time we played the Ravens was last year, week 2, right? They'll give you the excuse. They'll say, hey, after Marlon Humphrey went out, Tua started carving us up. No, that's not the case. Tua was carving you up first half. He had a couple mistakes on forcing balls in the small windows, and they ended up being picks. But he was carving you up the first half. Waddle went for 170. Tyreek went for 190. Waddle didn't have many huge plays. A lot of how they ate was underneath. Tyreek had a couple bombs, but a lot of how they ate was underneath. Gesicki made plays, which Smythe will make those plays this year, right? Barrios, Cedric Wilson, those guys will make those plays. So that's something I'm not worried about. I'm not worried about our offense being able to move the ball on them. And keep in mind, we ran for 5 yards a clip on them last year. We only ran the ball 15 times, and that's what you have to do when you get behind like that. You just have to throw it at that point. But just imagine a game where you can slowly, methodically go down the field on these guys, run the football, take your time, and you're not playing from behind. I really don't think our defense is going to put us in position to where we'll be behind and playing from behind like that. They're not going to give up a bunch of scores to these guys. They're not going to do it because they're going to be much more sound than they were last year. Last year, we were willy-nilly. We struggled against playing running quarterbacks. Lamar had like a 60, 70-yard run on us last year, right up the middle, on a design QB run. That is not happening this year. That's what I want y'all to understand. It won't happen. We're just a much better football team. We won't let things like that happen. We also gave up a kick return on the opening kick. It's not happening this year. Our special teams is better. They're playing better. It's not happening. Also, defense gave up a huge slant play to Bateman, right? Like a 60-yard slant to Bateman. He takes off. We're playing basically cover zero, and he beats the one guy and makes one miss and goes to the end zone. It's not happening this year. Y'all scored 21 points off huge plays. Kick return, long Lamar run, long play to Bateman. Those aren't happening this year. We aren't giving y'all those. You're going to have to earn everything you get this year. And that's the thing about this Dolphins team that I do like is that they make you earn it. They're not going to give it to you. Not going to give it to you at all. Shout out to the homie Troy Hicks in the building. He says, fins up, homie. Tom the Don is in here. He says, it's easy, CB. The experts don't want to have to apologize. They waiting on the Fins downfall. I agree with you. For sure. I agree with you. Thumbs up. Hey, appreciate you. Yeager the fourth. What's good with you? Green Rat, what's good? Fins up. Get your popcorn ready. Green Rat. Get your popcorn ready.
Sheriff, he's over here.
Let's go, man. Let's go. They acting like we didn't run them boys up last year. That's what I don't like. I don't like. Woo back, what's good? Woo back, CB83, what's up, Oos? What's good with you, Woo? Let's go out for the homie Woo back one time. What's popping with you?
Oh!
Yes, sir. Tom Don says Colin had us at 7 today. Wait, what? Hey, these dudes are terrible. Shake Money in the building. Shake, throw them fins up. What's good with you? What's popping, my boy? Shake Money in the building, holding it down. Day one in the building. JR Black says, great work today, fam. Destroy the novices, a.k.a. haters, trying to create new words. QB, just because they hate. Great work by you, Batman, DR, and Spliff. Stay on their throats constantly, man. Hey, people out here calling Tua. So they said Tua was a game manager on Sunday. Game manager, right? And this is what people do. They try to create these narratives about, what they want to classify guys as. They want to put guys in a box and say, hey, you're this, right? And honestly, game managers, there's game managers every week in the NFL. Some weeks Patrick Mahomes is a game manager, some weeks he's not, right? Some weeks Josh Allen is a game manager, some weeks he's not. I think that's the NFL in general. NFL quarterbacks have to be game managers. They have to move the ball along, make plays when they need to, not get out of character, not do anything that's outside of their realm that's going to put the team in harm, right? And then people try to put Tua as a game manager in that box because they really don't know what to classify him as. He's a pocket passer. He's not going to get off platform a lot and make flashy plays. And people don't like that, which is crazy to me, right? And it's not crazy. I mean, I think people get so enamored by, the narratives, the people who are on TV, right? The people who are on the commercials and the people who are flashy, the guys who are throwing sidearm, who are previous baseball players and stuff like that. They get enamored by that, right? But there's plenty of opportunities for those guys to go win games as game managers, and sometimes they can't do it, right? So it's just a bunch of narratives out here about guys, and we had to introduce a new term into the community today, right? So field general is now a category: game manager, field general, and game changer. Right? These are we gotta introduce field general, because now the Wolfpack can now shift towards him being a field general instead of calling him a game manager, because he's playing such good football, right? And they get mad at us for saying, "Oh, the kid's playing good football," but damn, I mean, he's top 5 in every damn category. Like, what we supposed to say? Trash? Like what? Like what are we? What are we talking about? You're mad because I'm saying he's playing well?
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Man, you can't make this stuff up, man. You really can't make this stuff up. And I got the homie Lou in the back. Lou, what's popping, man? Good to see you. Good to see you.
What's good, CB? What's good, bro?
I'm on my soapbox. I just came out the Ravens space. The Ravens flop, right? Their little space they were in, and they were talking about how they're so good this year and how they're just going to come out and whoop our ass on Sunday, and how they don't see it being a difficult feat. I don't get it. Lou, what's like, are we that bad of a football team where the Ravens think they're just going to walk all over us? I don't get it.
I don't get it neither, CB. I was in that same space. They talking real greasy, man. They think it's going to be a cakewalk, and they should be riding high. They had a good performance yesterday against the 49ers. But, I kept hearing the same thing, like, well, the Dolphins are the 49ers. And I just see that's where I disagree. I don't believe that to be the case. And I'm kind of happy, bro, they're thinking like that. Hopefully the team is thinking like that and they're overlooking us. Because again, I'm not having my homer hat on, CB, but I like our chances going into Baltimore, man. I think this team is figuring out different ways to win. We've seen it all year. They've won in blowouts. Now they're winning close games. They're winning running. If you want to run the ball, we can do that. You want to pass, be explosive, we can do that. I just think, CB, we're finding ways to win games. And CB, one quick thing that I kind of found out today, I didn't even realize it.
Well,
I think I heard it's only the Ravens and Miami this season are the only 2 teams in the NFL not to have back-to-back losses. And
wow.
I find that a real interesting stat, CB. It's like, that's a sign of a good team, right? There's no 2-3 game losing streaks, 3 games, maybe a slide here and there. Miami, it just seems like we have a bad game or whatever the case is. We come back to work. We get in the lab. To your point, we get in the lab. We make the correct adjustments and we find another way to win. And that's what makes me confident about this version of the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, man, and I'm with you. I think this team is, they have adversity, they face it, and then they find a way to like, learn from it, right? Because it's one thing to take L's and to have bad games, but there's another thing. You could either, not learn from it, or you can learn from it. And I think this team, make sure they don't lose in vain, right? Don't lose in vain. Don't go out there and lose just to lose. Lose and learn from it and understand that, hey, this is going to make you a better football team. So, I mean, we're playing the Ravens back-to-back up there in Baltimore. And, like, when I look at last year's game, bro, I mean, let's set the Tua 6 touchdowns aside. I think Tua just really carved them up. And I think Mike McDaniel saw something about that defense that really, that he was really intrigued by. He saw that he could pick them apart based on what they showed him. And honestly, I was just talking to the people about this, but we ran the ball at 5 yards a clip last year. We averaged 5 yards a carry. I think we could kill them in the run game this year, right? I think we could really hurt them in the run game, and they don't take that into account. They just thinking, Tua's we're not gonna let Waddle kill us. I mean, we're not gonna let Waddle kill us. We're not gonna let Tyreek kill us. We got our DBs back. And then they're thinking Waddle's going to be out, which he may be out, right? But they don't think we have other guys. Like, we still have other guys who can play good football. Like, we still got Barrios, we still got Cedric Wilson Jr. Those guys aren't nearly what Waddle is, but they can still hurt you in the passing game. And I think if we just do our job, run the football well, spread the ball around, this will be a win for us. Our defense is going to force them into some bad plays. And I really think that their offense will struggle on Sunday, because I think our defense is just that damn good. I think
I
it's
agree.
just that damn good.
I agree with that. I think this is a game where the defense is going to live up to all the billing. And
Yeah.
I just think Vic Fangio, these are the kind of games. I heard someone in the Ravens space say, well, I guess their defensive coordinator, that guy, Mike McDonald, or whatever his name is, he was the defensive coordinator last year, and that he
Right,
had this
right.
game circled, right? Well, I can make the argument
Yeah,
that
yeah.
Vic Fangio probably has this game
Of
circled.
course.
I think
Everybody.
I think these are the kind of games when you go make a trade for a guy like Jalen Ramsey, CB, a dog, right? Like
Yeah.
the
A difference
mentality
maker. A real
that
difference
he's
maker.
right, just the way he's gonna have that mindset coming into the game. I think guys like Vic Fangio, Ramsey, and them boys, I think they'll put an emphasis this week to, because again, the rumors are, well, Miami is a soft team, the Ravens are a physical team and stuff. I think our guys are gonna show up to play, man. I think they're gonna have some chip on their shoulders. Again, this is for the number one seed. I just don't
That's it.
understand why people think it's just going to be a pushover. The reason that it's for the number one seed is because Miami is a good team, right?
Yeah.
Like, how can you be playing for the number one seed if you were trash? And that's what it feels like. A lot of the national media, the pundits, the fans, they all think we have no chance. And I just don't understand why.
It's crazy, man. And I mean, Tua didn't go out and, throw for 500 yards and throw for 3 touchdowns on Sunday against the Cowboys. But he did enough to make plays in that game to put us in certain positions, right? To get points, right? And I think that's what it's about when it comes down to it. I think some games will be ugly like that, right? They'll be messy. You'll have to kick some field goals, but you got to find a way to win in multiple ways, right? And that's a game where I saw us go toe-to-toe with a good football team. Take the points when necessary, kick the field goals, play the field position game, flip the field with the punting, just use certain things to your advantage. And, I mean, our run game will get going. Hopefully Hunt gets back. But if we don't have guys, I think Mike McDaniel is just smart enough to scheme things up the right way. He just knows how to attack certain teams. And the game plan is going to be solid. We're going to go in, and the execution should be there off rip. And if that's the case, the Ravens are just going to have a long day. I'm telling you that right now.
I agree.
I think this Ravens matchup is going to be a better matchup than Dallas was last week. Right? And people may say, oh, you're crazy, CB. You're crazy, because I think the Ravens are such a good football team on both sides of the ball. I think this matchup will suit us better than last week's matchup versus Dallas. And I think we'll win more. I think we'll win by more points for sure than we won by in Dallas. And I think we score more points as well.
Man, you know what, CB? I said that earlier. I couldn't agree with you more. I was more concerned with the Dallas game than I am the Ravens. And now, I do believe the Ravens are a better team than Dallas. To your point, I think Miami matches up better against the Ravens than they did against Dallas. So I'm right there with you. But this
is my thing too. I think Dak is a better passer than Lamar, right? I think Dak's a better passer.
Agreed.
And I think Lamar has the ability to kill you with his legs. But once you bottle that up, it becomes very difficult for him to make plays, right? It becomes very difficult for him to pull the ball down and just take off once our edges are kind of in the right position and they're not way upfield and they got their outside shoulder free. It's going to be very tough for Lamar to get off, especially with our secondary. Our secondary, I like Zay Flowers. Odell's, he's older now. He can make plays still. I'm not saying these guys can't make plays, but I like our secondary versus their wide
I like
receivers
our
all
matchup.
day. I like the
Absolutely.
matchups, and that's
Absolutely.
what football is about. Honestly, it's about
Mhm.
matchups. Now they got some good linebackers, right? But I think their linebackers are more downhill guys. They're more of thumpers, right? They're not. I don't think they're great cover guys, right? So if the play action, if we're running the ball well, that play action should be wide open. The middle of the field should be open, and we should be operating. Should be operating at a high level.
Absolutely, CB. I agree. And before I lose the thought, because something you said about what people say Tua didn't play well, or this narrative of a game manager, right? Because I was in
Right.
that Twitter space a little bit earlier when you guys were having that discussion. People fail to realize, and this is where I can agree to some point. There are true haters, right? And again, I think it could be true that there are some true lovers that
Mm-hmm.
never want to put nothing on Tua. I think both things can be true. But the one thing I wanted to touch on, right? Dak Prescott didn't have more yards than Tua Tagovailoa. Josh
He didn't.
Allen this weekend didn't have more yards than Tua Tagovailoa. Lamar Jackson last night didn't have more yards than Tua Tagovailoa. So it's funny. None of those game manager labels come under Lamar or come under Josh Allen.
It's crazy.
It's only for
bro.
Tua, but when you look, bro, no one's asking Tua for 500. Give me 260, a touchdown, hopefully 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, and be efficient. That's perfect for Tua. That's just, bro, the guy throws for 293 CB, a touchdown, no turnovers, leads the team down on the final possession, and we still have people come out here and say, well, he was just game managing. No, he did what he needed to do. He did exactly what a franchise quarterback is asked to do. And it's funny to me when I start looking and I'm like, damn, Tua, basically, people are saying it's a bad game for him, CB, and he basically had 300 yards.
It's wild, man.
You see, bro, 300 yards, no turnovers, and think about it, CB. He had 293 on it, and he hit Tyreek. That should have been 7 right there. That could have easily been 380.
Easily,
you see what I'm saying?
Easily, but people don't take that into account, bro. I mean, I think at this point, the media, everybody has just made it easy to hate on Tua and not get pushback, right? I think if people really said stuff about Tua and people push back, like, what the hell are you talking about, bro? You stupid. Like, you have terrible football takes. Then people would be more reluctant to just come out and say dumb shit, right? But people just make it that because the national media, because football guys, right? Guys like Shannon Sharp and guys like, but people who are in the media, football guys will come out and say Cam Newton, Tua Tagovailoa is a game manager, right? So now that they say that, football guys say that, they can use that as their take, their ammo to come up and say, oh, Tua just managed the game. He didn't do anything special, right? But in the moments where you needed him most, he made the plays. Like, what else can he do, bro? Like,
period.
I mean, I just don't understand it. It bothers me. It's like, what else can you do, bro? He's just doing what he needs to do in order to win the game. And that's all you want from a quarterback, from a franchise quarterback, right?
CB, I couldn't agree with you more, bro. And again, that's why for the limited time I was in that Twitter space, I tried to make the point. Like the game changer narrative. The fact of the matter is, on the first drive of the game, on that throw to Jalen Waddle, Tua was 3 yards inside of his end zone. That's a third down. If that play's not executed, CB, we're punting from the back of the end zone, and the Dallas Cowboys are getting good field position. Am I correct?
Yeah, bro.
So that play right there, CB, is a game changer. You see what I'm saying?
Game-changing play, bro.
So, but people want to throw, well, he's not a game changer. What? You don't have to be a game changer, CB, in a 60-minute ball game for 60 minutes. You have to your point, and what I've been asking for is when the moments present themselves, right? Them situations come about. That's when I need you to be a game changer. And I just gave you a play in that game where Tua was a game changer. You see what I'm saying?
But Lou, what's crazy is, right, because you say it's a game-changing play, right? But people they only look at game-changing plays as rolling out, making one guy miss, throwing a bomb. And like, bro, that doesn't happen a lot in an NFL football game. Those type of plays don't happen often where you guys are getting off platform and making crazy plays. They may happen one or twice a game. Like how are you using one or two plays to call a guy a game changer? Like I don't understand that. Right? You can use the moments. Moments are important, right? When your team needs you most, you step up and you make a play. That's being a game changer to me,
I
right?
agree.
And people will say, "Oh, he threw 3 screens on the final drive." Bro, what I mean, you got whatever play is called, you got to execute. It don't matter where they throw the ball, whether it's downfield, whether it's behind the line of scrimmage, whether it's a run, you still got to make the plays, bro. You still got to make the plays.
I agree. I agree, CB. Listen, you're preaching to the choir. This is what I've been saying. People
Yeah.
think that I want him to be perfect. No, I don't want him to be perfect. I want him to execute. Again, when the moments present himself, and in every moment that presented himself on Sunday against Dallas Cowboys, again, to your point, I don't care if it's bubble screens. I don't care if he hands the ball off. As long as he's getting the job done. He's not shrinking in those moments. He's not fumbling the ball. He's not throwing bad interceptions. He's not
Yeah.
missing wide open guys. Making the plays, CB, when they really matter. And again, Tuesday or Sunday afternoon, rather, he made those plays, man. He deserves a lot of credit for the win on Sunday because, again, to me, that was a elite play from Tua. I don't care about the yardage. I don't care about just one touchdown. When you look at the game, he never looked out of control, CB, right? He never looked like he was rattled. He never looked like he was overwhelmed with the moment. The lights never got brighter for
Yeah.
him. He
Yeah.
just stayed consistent, and that's what you need from a franchise guy, man.
Yeah, man, that's what you need, man. I just wish people were a little bit more objective when it came to Tua and his performance and his play. I mean, the kid, I mean, he's been good. Like he's gotten better. All you want to see from guys is get better, right? Get better over time and be able to lead your team to wins. And I mean, right now, I mean, we're what 11-4. I mean,
I mean,
we're,
yeah, dude, it's crazy.
we're
Not a
we're
two
eleven
game
and
losing
four,
streak,
bro.
CB. Not a 2 game losing streak all season.
Yeah, I mean, bro.
And again, what was the narrative coming in, CB? Something we haven't even touched on for weeks, and that was really one of the only narratives coming into the season was Tua's health. Bro, this is 15 straight weeks that Tua Tagovailoa has been our quarterback.
15 straight. And a lot of people would have took the bet, right? A lot of
Yes, they
people
would
would
have.
have a
Yep.
lot of a lot of people were taking the bet early in the year that Tua would not stay healthy, right? And knock on wood, there's 2 weeks left. He's played 15 straight games. Like no, I don't think a lot of people didn't see that coming, but I knew the concussions thing was an anomaly in itself. And I know that's a very touchy situation in terms of the NFL and their shill and their brand. But I think now Tua understands, hey, keep your head off the ground, bro. Just make sure you're bracing yourself, you're bracing your fall, and you're not banging your head on the concrete. Right? Now sometimes some guys have no choice. Like you saw Chosen Anderson in the game take that hit and you had no choice. He left his feet, he's going to catch a ball, and he bangs his head on the turf. That's the nature of it. But when you're a quarterback and you're getting pushed or you're getting tackled, you can typically try to find a way to fall and brace yourself and keep your head from banging off the turf, banging off the grass, right? And we've seen him do that. So, I mean, shout out to him. I think it's a combination of neck strength, preparing your body for a football season, and just learning how to keep your head off the ground, bro. And
Bro, I
that's
just
the
think
difference.
I just think he's coming into his own anyway, CB. Forget
Yeah.
about the falling. On
Mm-hmm.
the play on Sunday that Tyreek dropped the pass on the opening drive, when you watch the film, bro, Micah Parsons barreled down, hit Tua Tagovailoa right under his chin, bro. Right
Yeah.
under his chin. The
Yeah.
very next play, Tua standing sturdy in the pocket delivers a 50-plus yard bomb to Waddle. That shows the growth. That shows the mental ability to say, you know what? To make this kind of throw right here, I might have to take a shot. And see, this is where I got criticized in years prior, CB. And I'll be honest, I'll stand here to take it. I don't believe after that play that on the first to the pass to Tyreek. I don't think after that play 2 years ago, Tua stands in the pocket that next day, eyes down the field, makes that throw to Waddle. I don't believe we see that 2 years ago. But
And
now you see
that's
the
good.
growth.
That's a good observation, bro. I
You
mean,
see what I'm saying? Like, that's growth, bro.
that is growth, and I think that's a good observation. I don't know if the coach feels comfortable putting him in that position.
That very well
Last
could be
year,
the case. Absolutely.
right? Because I don't know if they feel comfortable taking a shot back to back downs, right? But Mike McDaniel clearly knows that, hey, he has guys in the box looking at the game as they play it, right? They see certain things, and when they see certain things, they got to kind of hit on it right away. They got to take advantage of it, right? And I'm sure they're looking at that play like, hey, not only was Tyreek open, did he miss the ball, but hey, they're playing Jalen Waddle man to man too, and that guy can't guard him, right? So let's go back to the other side and see if we can take a shot with Waddle. And he dropped a dime in the bucket, bro. Really, if Waddle would have just stayed straight, he probably could have kept running and it would have been a touchdown. Just literally outran his dude. And really Tua couldn't throw a better ball after being just ear-holed on the previous play. It's wild. So, and he took shots like that all game and just continued to get up. Didn't whine and cry to the referee. Just continued to play, kept grinding. And it pays off. And it paid off, bro. And that's all you want to see. You want to see your guy go out there. And that's what I do like about Tua, right? He's not going to whine to the refs. He's not going to cry. He's just going to play football. And what the NFL sees is the referees respect that, right? They respect that, hey, this kid takes his shots, takes his lumps. He's not crying to the referees. He's not crying to us. He just wants to win a football game and put his team in a position to win a game, right? And it ends up helping us in the long run, dog. Because these guys who cry to Josh Allen's, the Patrick Mahomes, and all of these guys late in games, and when it comes playoff time, and they've seen you the whole year be a certain way, act a certain way when you don't get certain calls, they tend to look the other way, right? And maybe that comes back to help us a little bit later in the year as we go into the playoffs, that these guys are seeing, hey, the Dolphins just go out and play. They don't cry for flags. They don't cry when they get flags. Mike McDaniel isn't yelling at us, right? He's not pressuring us to throw the flags. He just wants his guys to be successful. So maybe later in the season, as we go into these playoff games, the referees say, hey, the Dolphins play clean football for the most part, and they don't complain. They just go out there and play. They know it's them versus them. It's not them versus the refs or them versus the other team. It's them versus them. And that's something that you got to keep in mind later in the season because, hey, everything is intertwined. All of these relationships, all of that is a part of the game. It's a lot of nuance to it, bro.
I agree. I think that's a very good point, CBI. Listen, I never thought of it from that angle, but I think you made some very valid points. I could see your point. You see throughout the league, man, and a lot of quarterbacks do that. They always looking for a call, and to his credit, he just puts his head down, gets ready for the next play. And I do think, to your point, later down the line, a referee might be more willing to, man, these people, they play the right way. They never complain. They might be willing to give us a call here and there because of that fact. So I think that's a pretty good point. I never looked at it like that, but that was strong.
Yeah, man. And honestly, it happens in a lot of games. It happens in the game of basketball. It happens in the game of football. The refs typically side toward the team that's playing the hardest, right? The flags are usually going to go to the team that's playing the hardest, and that's really trying to grind out the win, right? And sometimes there's quarterbacks. These prima donna quarterbacks now are always looking for flags. Tua gets hit low, he gets hit, bro. There has been plenty of calls this year. They have showed replays of Tua getting hit low where he didn't get a flag. The dude don't say a damn thing. Just get up and he just gets up and goes back to the huddle, right? And that's respectful. I'd rather have my guy be like that than be crying and wailing for flags and flopping, Bro, I don't want to see that. Honestly, there's no place for it in football. Soccer, you can get away with that shit. European football, you can get away with that, but not in American football. You shouldn't be crying about getting hit or getting hit late. Like, bro, this is football. Take your shots, keep it moving, and keep playing. And that's what I do like about him and his team, bro. They figure it out. They figure it out.
I agree. I definitely agree with that.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like that.
But man, I mean, Ravens coming in this week. I think the 49ers literally handed them the game last night. 5 turnovers. There's no way you're supposed to even be in a game. It shouldn't even be close when you turn the ball over 5 times. And the windows Purdy was trying to throw into and the plays he was trying to make, he was just pressing and pressing and pressing. And it showed. It showed. And that's my thing too. When you get in a situation where, hey, your guy isn't making the right plays, you got to kind of do something different. You got to try to lean on the run game and get him going in the play action and figure it out. It seemed like last night Shanahan was just insisting on putting him in those situations where, hey, you got to throw the football. You got to throw yourself out of it. You got to shake yourself out of it by throwing the football. I get it to a certain extent, but you also got to implement that run game. I didn't see Christian McCaffrey nearly enough last night, to be completely honest with you. I would have liked to see Christian McCaffrey get a ton of carries in that game, and I understand it. At some point they were behind, but it's like, man, you still got to be somewhat balanced. Like, you still got to be able to run the ball. And they just kept putting it into his hands, and he kept making bad plays. When you look at Purdy, he was leading the MVP votes or MVP odds. He was up there, right? He was up there as one of the top players in the NFL. After that game last night, I think it kind of bumps him out. Lamar goes up. Do you think this game, Lou, has these MVP implications? And what do you think happens if either Lamar or Tua wins this game when it comes to the MVP situation?
I completely agree that I believe this game has MVP indication written all over it. I think, a matchup like what we had yesterday, Ravens 49ers, both teams 11-3. It's a big game,
Yeah.
arguably, so people could say it was the game of the year, but really it's AFC versus NFC, so it really don't matter in the aspects of playoffs or seedings or nothing. I just think this Raven game, there's so much. 2 AFC teams, the 2 best teams in the AFC, they're fighting for the number 1 seed. I think, as of right now, today, while we're talking CB, I would say Brock Purdy has played himself out. Dak Prescott has played himself out. I don't believe Tyreek's going to get the 2,000. I think he's out. Christian McCaffrey didn't help his cause. I think he's out. Yeah, I think this game is for the MVP, CB. When you look at everything on the line, right? Number 1 seed, 2 of the best teams in the NFL, especially in the AFC. Yeah, bro. I think Lamar's probably the lead right now, but if Tua can go in there and again lead us, play well. Again, I'm not asking him to be superhuman, put his team on his back. That's not what I'm asking for. But go in, play consistent, play good football. I think Tua has a real shot. You get out of this game with using your terms, a big dub. I think Tua puts himself right back into the MVP conversation. I mean, would you agree with that, CB?
Bro, I think you're spot on. And what's crazy is that it really does come down to this, right? And I think Tua and Lamar is an interesting matchup because, like, this organization, I think, wanted Lamar at one point. I think Stephen Ross did want Lamar as the quarterback of the Miami Dolphins. And I think Tua understands that this Lamar to Miami talk is real, right? He's from the crib. He trains down there. I think they've probably crossed paths multiple times. And just being in South Florida and training, in the offseason, I'm sure they've crossed paths, right? But I think that game last year just showed me the grit that Tua has when it comes to playing against a guy like Lamar, right? Lamar had a hell of a first half. just a record first half against us last year. I think he ran for over 100 yards and threw for over 100 yards in the first half of that game last year. And it seemed like Tua just was not going to go down without a fight. And he didn't. The dude was swinging. He was swinging back, right? So I think this year you're going to see some of those same fireworks. And I think it's going to come down whoever makes the plays to win this game. I think that's who gets the MVP, bro. Josh Allen, I think the implications on that game next week will not be as big as what we're facing this week. And I think if the Miami Dolphins come out here and handle the Ravens, I think it should be Tua. It should be Tua's MVP at this point. I don't care what he does next week. I agree with that. I don't care what he does next week. I think if he comes out and plays well this week and lights it up and does what he needs to do, is the field general, is the point guard, and just and dealing, bro, I think he got it. I think he got it.
Well, I think you made a very good point, one of your last points, right? It's because of the magnitude of this game. Even going next week, the people will say Tua will be more comfortable because the game against Buffalo and Josh Allen will be at Hard Rock Stadium. They're home.
It'll be home game.
These are the moments you can go and prove something. You're going against the number one seed in the AFC on the road, Baltimore, hostile environment.
Yeah.
New Year's Day. It's just the magnitude. I'm with you, bro. I think if the Miami Dolphins come out of here, and again, even if Tua has a mistake, right? Like even last year, he had the 2 interceptions.
He has mistakes. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's undeniable. Even if Tua has a game like that, maybe 2 touchdowns or 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, but you go in there and you lead the team. I'm with you, CB. I think this MVP conversation, it would have to start with Tua Tagovailoa.
It would have to.
Do.
And I think people don't want to give it to Tua just because they feel like, oh, he's a game manager. He has great weapons like Tyreek and Waddle, and Mostert's doing great things this year. But there's something about being the conductor of a great offense, of a great orchestra, right? An orchestra is nothing without a conductor, right? So, you got to credit the conductor, the guy who's putting guys in the right positions, handing the ball off, throwing guys open, making the checks when necessary, pointing out Mike. There's a lot to it. So you got to appreciate what Tua is doing. And I think the real football people know. Real football people know, hey, Tua's doing a great job of running this offense. And not everybody can get in there and run this offense. Skylar Thompson struggled with it. Teddy Bridgewater struggled with it.
Yep.
It's not a very easy thing to do. So you got to appreciate it and you got to respect it for what it is.
Well, CV, Channing Crowder, our ex-linebacker, right? Great football mind. I love what he does on the pivot. I think he's really, really good. He brought up something a couple of days ago after the Shannon Sharp rant. I don't know if you heard it, but it's the narrative that Tyreek makes Tua. And I'm not saying that Tyreek doesn't help Tua. Obviously, he helps him.
Yeah.
But I think Channing Crowder, he made a very good point. Aaron Rodgers had Devontae Adams for all those years, and everybody told me Devontae Adams was the greatest wide receiver in the league, right? He's considered one of the best, right?
Yep.
So did he help Aaron Rodgers? No one ever brought that up, right? And then think about when he got traded to the Raiders. He went to Derek Carr. Derek Carr played with him 3 years at Fresno State. So they
barely did anything.
Didn't do nothing. So what? So this narrative that it's only Tyreek making Tua, that's false, bro. We've seen other great receivers go other places, and they don't make. I mean, the turnaround that Tua has had, that's why I think
astronomical,
bro. It just downgrades Tua, and that's why I say it's really hate. Because yes, does Tyreek make life easier for Tua? I would say yes, but Tyreek also made life easier for Patrick Mahomes. Like a great receiver is going to make life easy, but nah, bro, you got to put some respect on Tua's name. The boy has been balling out for the majority of this season, and this is why you find yourself 11-4 playing in ball games like this, CV, for the number 1 seed. It's not everything around them. It's the court. Listen, I would be a hypocrite, CV. I always come out and say it's a quarterback league. It's a quarterback league. I can't come out now and say, well, it's because of the team. No, it is because of the team. But no, the driving force behind this, CB, is one Tua Tagovailoa.
It is, bro. And I can understand people saying, hey, Tyreek has definitely elevated his play, right? But Tua has still been delivering, and this is my thing, right? Tyreek is a great wide receiver, and great wide receivers run the route tree. They run it to a T. They understand it. They understand how to get open, right? And I think what Tyreek has done he's basically given Tua a great target, right? A great target that's reliable and that's dependable and that's going to be in the right areas when it's time to deliver. And it's just a matter of Tyreek getting to areas, anchoring down, and just turning around and realizing that the football is coming. And Tua has been able, bro. Tua has been able to freaking fire the ball in there. Even like we saw some plays in the last game versus Dallas. Bro, in between three guys, throwing it in windows, right? Like a lot of quarterbacks in the NFL aren't making those plays. And I would challenge you guys to go look at other football games and look at other quarterbacks and see how their play compares to Tua Tagovailoa. It's just not the same. He's operating at a very high level, and that's why when I call him Tua Leroy and I say, he has the glow, it's because, dude, he's playing at another level, right? He's playing at another level, and there's going to be games where you play bad. That comes with it, right? That comes with playing the game. You can't always be great, but he's playing efficient. He's very efficient. He's dealing, he's spreading the ball around and getting the ball to guys when he needs to. And I know we can pick and choose a couple narratives here, there, pick and choose a couple games where he didn't make plays, but he's making more plays than he's not making. And that's what you want to see from your quarterback. You just want to see him make more plays than he's not making, and give your guys a chance. Give your guys a chance to go win games by firing the ball in there, not being scared. Pick a guy, let it fly, like Dan Marino used to say. Pick a guy, let it fly. And he's doing that. And that's what I'm seeing from him. Lou, you there? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here. Absolutely, man. Listen, the narrative about Tua, I think, has to change, bro. It just has to change. He's going to have bad games. He's not going to make every throw, and I have to do it for me too. I have to do a better job of kind of realizing, and I hate saying it, words like you use context and stuff. I have to do a better job at doing that because sometimes I do get emotional. It's just because I want so much from this kid. And I know he can do it, CB, right? Like that,
he can deliver. Yeah.
That's what the problem is. So I got to do a better job. But the narratives that go around, it is truly sickening because the kid has put in the work. Obviously, he's gotten better, and he is our leader, man. Whether you like it or not, the kid is going to be here. And to be honest, the system that we run, the guys that we have in this building, and McDaniel as our head coach, I don't think there's a better guy to execute what we're looking to do than Tua, bro. Like you can have the strong arm guys like Josh Allen, you can have the mobile guys like Lamar, but I don't think those guys in this system are what Tua is.
I don't
and
think
that's a
they
credit to
operate
him.
like that.
That doesn't make him a game manager. I just think it's a perfect mix what's going on in Miami now. And if you're a real Miami fan and a real person that loves this team, I don't know why you should be upset with Tua or his performances on the field or anything like that. I think he's the quarterback that's going to lead this team to ultimately to where we want to be, CB, and that's in the Super Bowl. So.
Yeah. I agree. And I see the Dolphins realtor in here, and he says Tua was off last game. Defense was great. Even off, Tua got us the points. And that's what I want you guys to understand, that, Tua was off last game in some instances. Like when he was throwing those out routes and those throws towards the sideline, I was texting you during the game. We were texting each other, and I was saying, yo, he is struggling on those out routes. He is struggling in getting that ball out there. And he was just a tad bit off on those throws. It seemed like he was forcing the ball a little bit more to the sideline to keep it from going inside because he didn't want it to get picked, right? And that's what quarterbacks got to do. They got to compensate for that, because if you throw that ball even slightly inside on those out routes, that shit is getting picked and it's going the other way. So I would much rather him throw them to the sideline and, throw it out of bounds then throw it to the inside and give them an opportunity to pick it off. So he's got to get better in that instance, though. He's got to get better at throwing those balls to those out routes, to those sidelines, because teams are going to force you. They're going to take away the middle of the field, and they're going to say, hey, you're not getting the middle of the field. We're going to force you to play on the outside. You got to take these out routes, and you got to be able to connect on them without throwing a pick. So I think that's going to be important for him moving forward. But you said it, Dolphins Realtor. Even off, he still kind of willed us into points. He still was able to get drives into the area where we can kick a field goal. And shout out to Jason Sanders, who just had an out-of-body experience on Sunday and just had a hell of a game. 5 field goals, man. That's tremendous. That's 15 points. That's wild. Very wild.
Well, CB, what are you thinking? How long are you gonna have this show on, bro? Because Hard Knocks is about to start, bro.
I'm actually about to go watch it right now, so I'm gonna end it. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come back tomorrow and we're gonna do something again, and we'll talk about the Miami Dolphins, talk about the matchup, and we'll just have something kind of dedicated. I may open it up tomorrow for some people to come up and just chat it up too. So
no, don't do that. There's casuals down there.
Don't kill him. Hey, do me a favor. We got 80 in the room right now. Hit the like on your way out, man. I appreciate y'all coming through and showing some love. It seems like Dolphins YouTube and Twitter is cranking up. Our stock is high right now, Lou. So a lot of people showing up. A lot of people in the building.
80 people in the room, CB. They must like me and you together, bro.
They do. This is gonna become something weekly for sure. Maybe a couple times a week where me and Luke get up and just chop it up for a few. I think this is kind of what the community is missing, just two cats who kind of see things from different perspectives, but also can kind of agree on certain things as well. So definitely that whole ass EM didn't show up, but it's all good.
He never show up. Don't worry. It just brings the production down when he does, CB. Don't worry about it.
For sure, man. And I appreciate everybody coming out. I appreciate you coming through, Lou. Always, bro.
All right, homie. Hey, again, Merry Christmas for the people. You know, it's a little late, but hopefully you had a good day with your family, CB, and we'll do this again tomorrow, bro.
Yeah, for sure, bro. Appreciate you coming through.
All right, homie.
All right, bro. Shout out to the homie Lou for coming through, man. Good convo, good show. Hard Knocks is on. I definitely want to go watch that. This is going to be a great episode. Dallas Cowboys matchup. Man, I appreciate everybody coming through and checking me out, man. Be sure to check out Hard Knocks tonight. I may do a little post Hard Knocks show tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon. We'll kind of discuss it. But, hey, appreciate y'all having me. Appreciate y'all coming through. Punch the like button. Join the Patreon if you haven't already. You can support the channel by clicking the links in the bio. Hey, love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Y'all know how we do. It's FINS Take with CB83, and your boy is out. See ya.